Hey everyone, JVGM98 here, and welcome to my video on the final two fighters for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Nintendo's E3 Direct is fast approaching, and with it comes the high probability of seeing our last two fighters. Now remember, it's not guaranteed that we're going to be seeing the final two fighters at Nintendo's E3, and could possibly one or none, and we have to wait a while. But still, I like to speculate a little bit about who I think would be the last two characters for Smash. Now I want to mention that a lot of these characters are going to be characters that I wish to see in Smash, or are going to be characters that I think are highly probable to be revealed at E3. With that out of the way, let's get into it. So the first character I'm going to talk about is Ryu Hayabusa. If you guys watched my top 10 characters I want for Smash, you would have seen that Ryu Hayabusa is on that list. Ryu Hayabusa has so much potential, and not only that, he's like one of the last NES icons that is missing in the roster. Me personally, I feel like Ryu Hayabusa is going to be in the game, but that's just going with my gut. I'm not going to be talking about moveset potential because that's not the point of this video. But another thing I do want to mention is that we have not had an 80s character in Smash in this Fighters Pass. And this is not counting alts, because if we do count alts, then the hero alt based off Erdrick from Dragon Quest III is from the 80s. But if you ask me, I do think that Ryu Hayabusa would be a really good way to end off the Fighters Pass as one of the final two. Now next we have Master Chief. Now, I'm not someone who really wants Master Chief, but if he did get in, I think it'd be cool. I'm only mentioning Master Chief since Master Chief would make sense to be announced here at E3, given how Halo as a franchise is more popular in the West and Japan, and it'd be a good way to hype people up at E3, especially with all eyes on Nintendo. You don't really have a first-person shooter character in the game, and I think Master Chief would be a good way to represent that genre in Smash. But hey, only time will tell. But Master Chief isn't someone that I believe is going to get into Smash, at least as the final two characters, but I did want to mention him because it is possible that Master Chief could get in, as he is pretty high likely of a character to be for the final two. The next one is going to be more of a Japanese character. Now the thing is that you may be like, okay, why would you want to add a Japanese character to E3? This is more of a Western appeal show. And yes, that is true, but I'm pretty sure they're probably going to do something that would appease both the Western audience and the Japanese audience. And I'm kind of stumped on which of these two will get in, but I'm going to mention them both. And that being a Tails rep character. And the two characters I chose, of course, were Lloyd Irving and Yuri Lowell. Like I said before this, I'm pretty sure Nintendo's going to announce a character that's going to mainly appease the Japanese audience, because like for example, when E3 2019 they announced Hero and Banjo, they had a character that appeased more the Japanese audience with Hero and then the Western audience with Banjo. So I feel like they want to do something like that similarly to balance it out. But I mentioned both Yuri and Lloyd, as the reason why being is that I'm pretty sure that either or has a very high chance of appearing, especially with both of them being very popular characters and coming from very popular games. Now Lloyd Irving would be the character I'd go with, especially given how popular the character is. But we cannot deny the possibility of Yuri Lowell taking his spot instead, as there's a lot of evidence that a lot of people have been saying that, oh, Lloyd could easily just return as a Mii outfit and that's it. And instead of Lloyd as a playable character, instead we get Yuri Lowell as the playable character. I wanted to mention both, as with both characters, I really don't mind which one of these two would get into Smash, and I think a Tales of rep would be really cool to see in the game anyways. Plus, Bandai Namco has not had a rep since Pac-Man, which honestly shocks me. It's like, you'd think they would have put like a Tekken rep, but no, we haven't gotten any of that. Heihachi's just a Mii outfit again. So I do think the Tales of series is a perfect series to represent in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate as the final two. Now another series that is not on my top 20 characters I want, but it's possible that this character can get in, is of course Doomguy or Doomslayer, whichever one you want to call him. This is another character that pretty much dominates popularity here in the West. I personally don't think Doomguy's gonna get in, but his high chances of getting in here, especially given how much of a big popular Western character he is really high. Without going too much into move speculation, I can easily see them trying to like stay away from using too many weapons maybe, but mainly focusing on his sword that we saw in like a game like Doom Eternal, for example, making him kind of like similar to a sword fighter, but not really, because he'll use it for a little bit of his attacks, but I do think there'll be some guns that he'll be able to use and all that stuff. But hey, that's just me. And hey, you know, Doomguy could get into Smash. Like I do think that his chances are pretty low for me, in my opinion, but hey, anything is possible at this point. Sakurai could just say screw it and just put him in the game. But yeah, no, I definitely want to mention Doomguy because he is a very popular character, and his chances of being announced here at E3 are really damn high, especially with how popular he is as a character. So this next slot, I'm going to use it on a Capcom rep. It's kind of crazy to think that Capcom has not been involved with Smash's DLC besides Mii outfits. Like, you'd think they would probably want to try to get at least a character in there, but no, all they've been is Mii outfits. So the probability of a Capcom character is probably low, especially given how long it's been. Like, so where we're at right now, it's like we're at number 10 and then 11 for the Fighters Pass characters, and nothing Capcom related as a character has been, mentioned at all. But if we do get a Capcom rep, I have two probabilities here. So one of them could be the Monster Hunter from the Monster Hunter series. It just makes sense given how popular the series is and how big of the series has become here in the West. That it pieces both the US and Japanese markets. The Monster Hunter has a ton of moveset potential that it would be a waste to just ignore it. And it's kind of weird as well because the Monster Hunter series is only represented in Smash via Rathalos as an assist trophy and boss, and the Mii outfits for based off the Monster Hunter armors and the cat. I forget the cat's name. But yeah, it's crazy to think that Monster Hunter isn't playable at all in Smash. And hey, maybe the things could change as the last two fighters approach. And the other Capcom character is Dante, which is my most wanted Capcom character. Dante would be so sick in Smash, especially with all his style changes, all the weapons he can use. Like, bro, his moveset potential is like incredibly high. Not only that, imagine how stupid he'd be as a playable character. He'd just be even more busted Bayonetta, and I'm all for it. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now with Capcom reps. For me, it's either going to be Dante or it's going to be Monster Hunter. Either one is fine with me, and we'll just see what happens. Now, we can't rule out this possibility, but it is still possible that one of those last two fighters could be a Nintendo rep. And as much as people don't want that to happen, the probability of that happening is pretty high. Like, you may be like, okay, Nintendo wouldn't want to have 3 Nintendo reps in one Fighters Pass, but you don't know. We all don't know, and they could easily just do it if they felt like it. So I definitely wanted to mention that. As for who the fighter could be if it is a Nintendo rep, there's a ton of possibilities. For me, what I would want is, like, say for example, Officer Howard from Astral Chain, which would be pretty cool to see. Or the one I really want to see from a Nintendo first party rep, a new Legend of Zelda character. I think Impa would fit that role really well. Like, Impa right now is a character I can see getting into Smash, and honestly just expanding the Legend of Zelda series as a whole would be great, because we have not had a new character from the Zelda series since Brawl, which is honestly shocking when you think about it. So yeah, Impa and Officer Howard are two characters I do want to see in Smash. But of course, there's also other Nintendo reps that I didn't mention that, while this is a character I don't really want to see in Smash, I wouldn't mind it per se. I just wish that it was something else. And it's the probability of a Pokemon Sword and Shield rep being in Smash, because, Pokemon Sword and Shield is pretty big. It's possible they want to like capitalize on that popularity and they add either one of the starters or a different type of Pokemon in general. But we can't count it out entirely, so that's why I wanted to mention a Pokemon rep as a possibility. But there's a lot of Nintendo reps that can be chosen for the final two fighters, so just make sure you realize that it is possible that we could be seeing a Nintendo first party rep. So who knows? We'll find out. A character I think that would be cool, but I don't think it's gonna get in, is another Sonic rep, and that's more specifically something like Eggman. Like, with Sephiroth's inclusion in Smash, he's like one of the biggest third-party villains that's like really, really popular. But if you ask me, I think the character that is the most popular third-party villain would be Dr. Eggman. Dr. Eggman in Smash would be huge, and so many people would be reacting. The amount of potential that Eggman can have, especially with his all his contraptions that he has, would be incredible. Like, you'd have a unique character there, just with all his stuff that he can do. And plus, as a Sonic fan, seeing more Sonic stuff in Smash would just make me incredibly happy. And lastly, the final character I'm going to be tackling is Crash Bandicoot. I'm pretty sure this is something that a lot of people have mentioned. And honestly, this is the other character I do believe will be one of our final two fighters for Smash Brothers. Ending it off with Crash would be so much hype, and it would just make so much sense. Like, can you imagine like the way the trailer ends is like Crash grabs Mario and Sonic and he puts his arms around them like, hey, look, we're reunited together, as a reference to their console rivalry back in the day. But yeah, the probability of Crash coming to Smash is very high, especially given how we're at the end. It'd be a phenomenal way to end the Fighters Pass with announcing Crash Bandicoot. And with that, that wraps up this video. But before I end it fully, I do want to mention at least one character that I would like to see in Smash, but I doubt it. It's gonna be real quick, and it's Sora. As much as I would love to see Sora in the game, I'm pretty sure he ain't coming in. I've already kind of made my peace with that a while ago. So yeah, no, I just want to mention Sora. He's my most wanted character for Smash, but I don't think he's getting in. But then we gotta realize there's another potential way that this Fighters Pass could end, and we end up getting Jonesy from Fortnite. I'm gonna start laughing. He's definitely not a character I want, but imagine if Jonesy got into Smash. Just imagine. But anyways, yes, this wraps it up. I personally believe that the final two characters for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is going to be Ryu Hayabusa and Crash Bandicoot. But hey, that is just me. Things can go a different way, and instead of Ryu Hayabusa, for example, we end up getting Lloyd Irving or Yuri Lowell. Or instead of Crash Bandicoot, we get Master Chief or something like that, you know? At the end of the day, I'm leaning towards Ryu Hayabusa and Crash Bandicoot being our final two fighters. Well, that's just me going with my gut, and my gut could be wrong. So who do you think the final two fighters are going to be for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you like this video, leave a like, share it with others, favorite it, whatever. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, follow me on Twitter. We're pretty close to 300 followers and I want to reach that, so let's make it happen. But anyways, thanks for watching. Have yourselves a great day or night whenever you're watching this, and take care.